Singer-songwriter, DJ and fashion designer Boy George shot to international stardom in the 1980s as the frontman of one of the UK's biggest exports, the Brit and Grammy Award-winning Culture Club. Boy George has had continued success as a solo artist, and with a career spanning over 30 years has sold over 150 million albums. He's just announced 4 outdoor concerts at London's Kenwood House in Hampstead, the South of England Showground at Ardingly in West Sussex, Englefield House near Reading in Berkshire, and Audley End House near Saffron Walden in Essex. It's Boy George, everybody. How are you?
I'm good. It's always nice to hear your voice. You're such a familiar sound. No, you really are familiar.
Well, I try and be familiar. I'm not as familiar as you, though. So listen, have you been during because I know that you've been away in Australia, part of lockdown.
No, I came back from Australia right at the beginning, pretty much the last flight from Australia, and my house is being redone, so I couldn't move home. So I've been house hopping for the past year. I've lived at James Corden's briefly, Emma Stone, I've been in her bed. And
really?
Yes, I've stayed at a few celebritoires houses.
Oh, lovely. So what have you been doing then? What have you been up to?
I've been, I make art, I've been recording, managed to kind of stay in a bubble with my producer Benny D, and I've been making music. I've probably made more music in the last year than I have done in the last 40 years. I'm going to drop 60 songs on my 60th birthday.
60th?
Which is in June. Yeah.
No, you're kidding me.
June 14th, same day as Donald Trump.
There's
Not
a
to
thing.
worry.
Let me just play you something, by the way, off the air just before we started. I was asking George if he'd heard his impression that we do on this show, just occasionally. Here we go.
Hello, this is Boy George. Now let's all practice my special laugh. Oh, that's good, Tim. I think you've got it. Squeeze me.
Do you like that?
Well, it's not that I don't like it. You do realise you're not interviewing Peggy Mount, don't you?
Now, that's a fantastic reference, Peggy Mount. It used to be in comedies way back in the 60s, 70s, maybe. Peggy Mount.
Yes.
She was very stern.
Oh, I loved her.
I loved her too. So listen, these gigs look interesting. Support acts for the gigs will include Bananarama, Lulu, Kim Wilde, Gabrielle. Are you looking forward to getting back out there?
Absolutely. If the weather's like this, I mean, the last few days have just been glorious. You just go, oh,
yeah,
heaven, and so if it's like that and people are allowed to be outside, I think it's going to be fabulous.
Yeah.
For everyone, including us.
Well, I was thinking the other day, when am I going to get on a plane? When do you think you might be getting on a plane next time to go somewhere?
Maybe in June. I might be doing something in Ireland if it comes off.
Yeah.
But nowhere far for a minute, I think.
Do you play Ibiza as a DJ?
I have done for years and years, but not recently.
Will you be back out there DJing at some point as well?
I don't know what it's been like for you, but the last few days since we've eased down a bit, there's been sort of days where you've gone, oh, the world feels normal again. Oh, hold on. Not quite.
It's not quite.
So
yeah.
right now the idea of being in the middle of a packed crowd doesn't necessarily appeal.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So if I'm in the DJ box, I suppose, I could do that because I'm up in the little pulpit.
You must have been doing that, DJing, like simultaneously for about 20, 25 years, I don't know. It was a strange move at the time, I thought, but in retrospect, it was exactly the right thing to do, wasn't it?
I think so too, and I think even what I'm doing right now it feels like the right thing to do. I was offered the sort of obligatory record deal to do a covers album at 60, and I said, no, thank you. I'll write my own songs, thank you. So that's the sort of compromise I'm not interested in.
I like your attitude. That's fantastic. We'll play some of your music, then come back, George, and find out what you've been up to. Boy George on with us today. So we're back here with Boy George. And before the break, you said you'd recorded 60 songs to mark your upcoming 60th birthday, I know. So when you got some new music coming out?
Well, I've been releasing stuff all year onto Spotify. I've just kind of taken a little bit of a sort of an anarchistic approach to releasing. I'm not sort of announcing things because it doesn't seem to work. I signed a massive publishing deal 2 years ago with Primary Wave, which is a sort of new publishing company. So I've already been kind of paid for my work. So there's a freedom to creating now because I'm not aiming it anyone special. I'm just saying I need to make this music, see if you like it when it lands. I'd go back to this idea that when I was 16, the first time I heard Sly Stone was in my friend Rhonda's bedroom. Where you hear music is important, not if 60,000 people like something and one person does it, it's not relevant. So I've kind of just spent the year demystifying the whole songwriting process and writing songs that I wouldn't have done in the 80s. I would never have made a record like Madonna because I thought, well, I'm not allowed. So now I'm just doing all of that. I've just done an OMD cover, been chatting to Andy McCluskey about doing a collaboration. I've worked with Kim Wilde.
Brilliant.
Do you find, George, that there's a kind of musical freedom these days that we didn't have, in the early 80s? And you can actually make what you want to make and get it straight out there to the world immediately.
The music business, you hear a lot of no. And for a creative industry, you think every creative idea gets squashed. And I think just at this point, I'm like, I think I know what I'm doing, so I'm not listening to you.
But no is always, I suppose, no, it's not going to sell, we're not going to make very much money. So if money's not your priority, creativity is. It's always been creativity with you, hasn't it, George?
Yeah.
No, but I think also these days, you don't just make your living out of one thing. So everything you do matters. Your social media, your records, how you meet people in the street. Everybody's having a different relationship with the public now.
Yeah.
The audience relationship is brand new. It's a new time.
It's
And
interesting.
you're not somebody who's going to take no for an answer, George, are you?
Well, you know what? I think there's always a compromise. The love is the music, and then there's the gig, which is the work and the fame. Sometimes you do have to make compromise, and I've done some of that. But not currently. I'm in a luxurious position where I don't have to say yes to everything.
Yeah, I figured that. I was watching that documentary the other day, the one on Sky Arts. I must say that you're looking good.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's just being vegan.
Seriously, is that what's doing it?
Yeah. I'm on this stuff called Huel. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, but I don't know what it
is.
is.
It's like space food. It's vegan space food.
Okay.
Basically like a posh pot noodle. You reconstitute it with hot water and it's vegan and it's got all the macronutrients in it. You know me, I love a food fad.
Of course. I was wondering, what would you be looking forward to then? Because we all look forward to our meals or a drink or whatever. What is it you'd be looking forward to in life these days?
Feeling great.
Good answer.
Fair enough.
I'll take that. So, Kenwood House, London, Saturday 26th of June. Boy George and Culture Club, UK dates, 2021. South of England Showground, Ardingly, West Sussex, Saturday 17th of July. Englefield House, Reading in Berkshire, Saturday 24th of July. And Audley End House and Gardens, Saffron Walden, Essex, Thursday 12th of August. And then who knows what might happen next year. And
Let me just say, though, before I go,
Go on.
thanks very much.
Yeah, sounds exactly like him, George.
Maybe that's my future impersonation.
Oh, it was genius, I think. You should do it for a living. Bye, George, everybody. Thanks,
Bye.
George. See you later. Bye.